From TMP to TTNG, for sure the cure and those tired meme jeans. Helican Sella and the promise ring. Sunny day, real estate and rights this spring. Prince Twinkle Daddies help keep the dream alive. I constantly thank God for Algernon and Remo Christie front drive. Mineral, snowing, high tide hotelier and more. Rio Limo only consists of the DC emotive hardcore. But you gotta admit, Kyle and Ellie really on that emo bullshit. You gotta admit that Kyle and Ellie really on that emo bullshit. Have you heard the tired and disavowed lonely word? Have you heard the disavowed and lonely word? Have you heard the lonely disavowed word? Have you heard the tired and lonely disavowed word?
Okay, episode 29 of the E word.
Holy shit.
What? What?
Just 29. That's a lot. That's like a lot of hours of us talking.
That's whatever 29 times 3 is.
Shit.
Yeah, this is Kyle recording in Madison. Over there, my Central Standard Time friend Ellie. How are you?
I'm doing good. Just worked an ass long shift, like stupid long, and I'm super stoked to be recording.
Fuck.
And that is Alex, also known as Pigeon.
What's up? Yeah.
Pigeon,
on Pacific Standard Time.
You're on Pacific Standard Time. Where is that exactly?
Cali. Cali with a K.
Cali with a K.
Cali with a K. A greater LA region.
So we kind of have a looser episode than usual. Not a ton of news. We have an ass load of follow up to do, and some other business to take care of. Per the last episode, we're doing plugs at the top. But first, let's start off with Alex. Alex, welcome to the pod. Stoked to have you. Heard you wanted to be on this for like a year.
Thanks. I'm really glad to finally be here.
We cucked you harder than we cucked Liam, to be honest. As far as like making you wait hella long to be on. I'm so sorry.
Is Liam gonna be on here?
Oh no, Liam from Commander Salamander, not our Liam.
Oh, I'm thinking of like Clout Liam.
Yeah.
Who is Clout Liam?
Oh, Liam Coombe, fellow Cali with a K representative. They were in Sea Space Cowboy for like a hot minute.
Okay.
A BFF.
Yeah, a real good friend of both of ours.
And there's also a Liam in Closure, I believe.
Yeah, there's just too many Liams in this scene, to be honest.
I feel like all the Liams I've ever heard of, besides the actor Liam Neeson, who I don't actually know who that is, but I feel like all the Liams. Okay, that's the Taken dude.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like all of the other Liams that I've ever heard of are emo people.
All the Liams I know are like total goofballs.
Yeah, that's like a running thing.
Also, homie, Liam Neeson was Qui-Gon Jinn. You didn't know that?
I know the face. I know that's the
in
face
the Star
that's
Wars
Taken.
Yeah. All right,
Alex. Would you like to plug anything here at the top, or tell us a little bit about who you are and where you hang out and stuff?
I play guitar and yell crybaby shit in a band called Mascot Year. We're not really like totally active because my drummer lives in Washington, so we're kind of an internet band, but like we play shows when like circumstances allow for. I have a notoriously, well, depending on who you ask, horrible or great Twitter presence. So follow me there at Pigeon Boy Alex.
Didn't your Twitter get shut down at one point or something?
It did.
Yeah, you
because
remade. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a horribly long story with just injustice on all accounts. But yeah.
We'll tell that story in the Patreon episode, I think.
Oh, sure. Well,
Yeah, for sure.
it's really not all that interesting, but cool.
What's this we have? What's this we have next on the list? The E-word freshman class, 2019.
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
This is
Kyle.
what's up? Yo.
I honestly didn't know we were doing this like already. I didn't
Yeah,
realize it was
that's-
up this soon.
Yeah, we dropped the last one like this time last year next month. So
Holy shit. It feels so like recent.
I know
I know.
because I mean like I put it out on all of our social media accounts like, hey, who do you think is going to be like the freshman class? And it seems like people are really strongly opinionated about a bunch of bands, which was like the case last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I feel like there's
Who
some
has
like
the most clout?
I mean, it's half clout, it's half talent, it's half. I think like what's cool about last year's freshman class is like all of the bands literally have like exploded in popularity. So
Yeah.
like, it's like
Yeah.
all bands that are deserving of it.
And I mean, personally, I think they should be giving us all of the credit for their explosion in popularity.
Put it in
We
the
are-
fucking liner notes.
We are 100% responsible. Follow us on our Twitter at
Oh my god. But that's in the notes because I mean, by the time this episode is out, or around the time this episode is out, the freshman class voting will be out there and going. Speaking of those social media accounts that I was talking about, you can follow us on Twitter at the E-Word Podcast. We are rapidly approaching like 1,000 followers on Twitter. Totally deservedly so, because we have been fucking fiery on that shit.
True.
Oh yeah, we're getting to that later, huh?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
You can follow us on Instagram at the E-Word Podcast as well, and our email is the ewordpod@gmail.com. I want to get that Facebook going because I feel like there's some people that don't really understand that like Facebook is just like obsolete if you're not putting money into it, but it still matters. And I don't know, some people might be going to the Facebook page first after finding out that snowing we're on our podcast and be like, oh, these chuds that have like 27 Facebook likes. But then like
just
they
imagine,
go over.
just imagine like a group of just like boomers listening to the to the E-word.
I mean, that's what I think our audience is just like disgruntled boomers who don't understand what we're talking about.
I mean, like,
Only on Facebook though.
right.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be posting everything to Facebook, and I don't know, if you hang out there, just give us a like. It'll be painless.
Also, join our group.
Yeah, the Facebook group is gonna get popping again too. There's some people in there that like I'm just nervous because like Keith from Count Your Lucky Stars and Empire is in there. Tank is now in there.
Oh wow.
So I just feel a little bit seen now, just being in there because it's all of our personal accounts and shit. But yeah, it's I want to get that going again. Two other things, we're now on Spotify. This is like an entire year in the making that Spotify has taken in podcasts, but only the big ones. And then they're like, hey, if you're on these 7 very obvious podcast hosting services, you could get on Spotify now. And then as of like, I don't know when, it must have been like a month and a half ago at very latest, they let anyone with an RSS feed join Spotify and host and be able to put their podcast on Spotify. And
Sick.
That finally let us in. And let me just tell you, everyone's fucking stoked. I had no idea that we were like, that people wanted to listen to the podcast on Spotify that bad.
Accessibility.
I guess so,
Yeah.
but like we're literally on everything now. Like
Yeah, now that
except
we're
for
on
SoundCloud.
Jabberjaw Media.
Spotify is one of the cornerstone like streaming sites or services. So I mean, it's like kind of a bigger step.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're like part of the aggregate now. We've been
Yeah.
absorbed to the Borg, you know?
The Borg. A Borger.
Vic Borger.
Ellie, just straight up, if like Jabberjaw was like, "Hey, would you guys want to join our network?" Would you be like, "Fuck yeah," or would you?
Are you fucking kidding me? Like, selling out doesn't exist? What?
Maker
I take-
Studios.
I take that 100 words or less money. I take that Tom Mullen money. Yeah.
But like at the same time, it's like, look how much we have done without it.
Yeah, but that also just like makes me think of like how much further we could advance with the backing of something like that.
Sure.
You know? And also, you know, if we ever do get approached by like someone wanting to like sponsor the podcast or make us a part of their like hosting service, I feel like the fact that we already have like a strong DIY base makes us like kind of prime for that. You know,
Yeah.
we already have like a bit of a built-in fan base.
Yeah. In general, I definitely want to be using all of our social media accounts as much as we can. So, and Instagram is like an awkward platform for a podcast. So
Yeah.
I did something I set up for this weekend, which will be in the past when this comes out. This weekend, I'm giving our Instagram password and our Instagram story to the bands Why Not and Nice, who are doing a Midwest 420 weekend run. I don't know, just for fucking fun. Like, I know Nice are gonna wild the fuck out. I feel like that's the best booking I've done is Nice on 420 and giving them free reign.
Yeah, true.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, I'm super stoked. I hope they get themselves in trouble. I hope they roast all of our followers, and it's gonna be great. And in general, I don't know, just giving the platform to bands would be fun. Like, I don't know.
Dina follows us on Instagram.
Who does? Oh,
Dina, my
yeah.
fiance, yeah. The crazy thing is I do not use Instagram, so I definitely do not follow us on Instagram. And she like will show me our Instagram story, and I'm like, Kyle interacts with people so much on Instagram. It's insane. Like, I didn't realize there were that many like Instagram exclusive like pieces of content, but there are.
Oh yeah, it's loaded.
Yeah.
I don't know. I might want the password to that at some point.
You want
Like
to
I
roast
did-
them on multiple
like I did
accounts?
Twitter. We're not there yet. We're not there.
Kyle's corner,
That's-
Ellie's corner.
Okay. For real though, some follow up episode. What was that? 26, 27? I don't know. The Chillwave episode with Robert, Ben, and Closure. That was a fun episode, and I feel like something that has lingered is just like roasting the boss man.
Chillwave is a very fun person to roast. They like told me to do it on Twitter too, like for this episode. They're just like spend an hour roasting Chillwave, and I can't do it. I feel bad because like Chillwave's been very very nice to me over like the 2 or 3 years that I've known him.
Yeah.
So
Also, that Closure tape is out now. Chillwave Records is up and operating. They're onto their second release already. Good Sleepy, that is now on tape. So go and support Chillwave Records. You can buy both those tapes now. And I got my tape super fast. I got a handwritten note. It got me a sticker, and they charged $3 for shipping, which is like.
Oh,
Which is
that's so good.
It's so
it's
nice.
so fucking
'Cause
nice.
You don't know
Leave me a
how
mail.
many labels that'll be like one tape $5. Oh, you want 2 tapes? That's gonna be $7, my friend, for shipping.
I'm like physically cringing. My arms are like tumbling.
That's not how the postal service works.
I mean, has the Postal Service been a band? Like I thought they stopped operating a long time ago.
Didn't
They gave
reunite?
up.
Shut up. Any other thoughts on the Chillwave pod?
I had fun.
Me too.
I didn't listen.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Pigeon only listens to the episodes they're on.
I've never even listened to the podcast. Yes. Never.
Who did we have on that never actually listened? Because we had like someone on who like openly was like, I've never listened to an episode.
Well, I think Liam.
Me?
Liam.
Yeah, it was Liam from
Liam was like,
I'm just kidding.
I only listened to the freshman class because Commander Salamander was a freshman.
Yeah.
The 2010 episode that came out very recently, that was cool. Someone pointed out that it was funny the way that we were talking about High Tide Hotel because Nate Dione was actually the drummer on that album.
Yeah.
Which is just news to me. So maybe Nate Dione is actually like the cornerstone of the emo revival that no one really thought of.
I non-ironically might actually believe that, to be honest.
Right. Yeah.
I did want to say I have different thoughts on one of the albums we talked about. So David Anthony was texting me a storm while he was listening to that episode.
That's like the yeah, because he's like the age that would.
Yeah. And he said you should go back and give The Echo and the Light another chance.
Interesting.
And I did, and actually I think I might like it more than Summer Fences now.
Oh.
I think it's that good. Like it really, I think just because I hadn't listened to it in like a while, like maybe a couple years, but I went back and listened to it, and it definitely sounds like, honestly, like really ahead of its time. Like I think there are bands now that are still like trying to sound like that record, but Castevet did it really, really well, and the vocals are better than I remember them being as well. So, great record. Changed my mind.
Did David Anthony say anything about Joie?
Nothing about Joie.
Okay, that's the one that I was like nervous about.
Yeah, he did have a couple things to say about Grown Ups, and he said they like Grown Ups and Castevet were both kind of thought of as like pop punk bands around that time, like because they were all in hardcore bands prior.
Yeah.
I didn't know that Castevet were hardcore dudes, but I did know about Grown Ups. And so when they started doing the twinkly stuff, people thought of them as like, you know, really really goofy pop punk, and now they're kind of looked at as a little bit more serious. So I thought that was cool. It was cool to have that perspective.
Definitely. I mean, I've never known anyone to be around during that time that listened to that stuff when it was coming out. So, the next note is the Algernon episode, which was gigantic. I mean, it was gigantic just us doing it. It was gigantic that like Algernon Cadwalder posted our podcast on their Facebook page, which is like literally something I never thought that I would touch something that would get that near to Algernon. So it was all mind blowing. Tank is just the nicest person in the world. Super. I mean, he's beyond humble. He's self-deprecating.
Yeah, self-effacing even.
Yeah.
Like, I want Tank self-esteem to grow. That's all I want.
Yeah. Alex, did you listen to that episode?
I didn't. It was like 3 days ago
Yeah.
at the time of this recording. I'm just late, so like maybe I'll get around.
I really had fun with that episode. I feel like we did not have as much to say as the snowing episode, and I think that's because like we were way more emotionally attached to the songs, and so all we could be like was like, oh wow, this song's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And nothing else. Like that's the only thing we could do. But it was still fun. I mean, that's just the fact about Parrot Flies. Every single song on it is a stunner. So
Yeah.
if we don't have anything to say besides this song fucking slaps, then yeah, that's the way it goes.
True.
And then we get to the thing. Ellie roasted bands on Twitter.
I feel like something else that should be mentioned is like you made an Algernon tweet that went off.
Yeah.
So we already had a bunch of people looking at the page. And then hot on the heels of that, I was like, fuck you, Kyle, I want attention.
Is that really what it was?
That was my entire motivation, yeah.
It was like an easy joke that I'm surprised never was made, so.
Yeah. And I was just like, give me any band and I'll roast them. And I made sure to say no special treatment and no positivity because I didn't want people giving me bands that they knew I was friends with and would go easy on. And like, actually, I think one of the bands Michael Sarah Palin. Yeah, we're both really good friends with Elliot, and I maybe went harder on them than any other band. But yeah, that was a lot of fun, and we got like 100 something Twitter followers from it.
I want
So
to
sick.
try and find some greatest hits here from that. The Riley one was extremely funny because
The Riley one was great because Riley was like, "Wait,
Wait.
no."
the Jail Socks one was like
They knew they had to be setting themselves up for it.
That's what that's what I'm trying to say. Some
Yeah.
ones that were just straight up rude was the one about Sparkle Horse. The Nirvana one.
Nirvana is one of my
Lot
favorite
Dispute
bands
one was
ever.
really good.
Oh, thank you. No one liked that. No one liked or retweeted or replied to that one at all. So I'm glad to see it's not slept on.
Oh,
Lot Dispute one.
the Weezer jokes, which were Prince Daddy and
Wrestle
Weezer.
with Jimmy.
The Prince Daddy one was music made by and for people who still anticipate new Weezer albums. And then the Weezer one was I already made fun of Prince Daddy. Is
Yeah.
that correct?
Yeah.
All right. I think my favorite one might have been the band that was like, "We like to be abused," and I
Oh.
said, "So does anyone who likes to listen to your music?"
Yes. Was that or no? Who was the one that was like, "I see you on our emo, but you sound like every band on our emo"?
Oh, I think that was Equipment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also really like the State Champs one because I just really don't like that band.
And they do sound like the way Zoomies smells for sure. I really some of my favorites were I really liked the Touche Amore one.
Yeah, that one's
Honestly, another shout out to the Nirvana one because Nirvana is like in my top 10 favorite bands of all time, and I just like slandered them. Also, the fucking Nice one. I'm surprised that they still like wanted to take over Insta because I was very mean to them too. I don't know. I thought it was cool that everyone was pretty much just a good sport about it.
Yeah.
And there were bands that like nominated themselves, and then if the roast was good enough, they followed us. So it's like this is a proving ground.
That's a pretty good condition.
Oh yeah, and the Mom Jeans one, which Mom Jeans I assume we'll never see.
Yeah.
So what's this next thing? Mike Kinsella refused to sign your jewel.
Yeah. So I went to an Owen show. I've never seen Owen before because Owen just, I don't know. It's like whenever Daddy Mike Kinsella has time to play Owen shows, he does it, and it was like his first time in Wisconsin in like 15 years or something like that. So I saw this and I just got in my head that like I'm gonna ask Mike Kinsella to sign my jewel because I don't know why I got in my head, but as soon as the show announced, I was like, Mike, you're gonna sign my jewel. I commented that on like some post, and then I was like, oh, it's time for the show. I'm gonna actually see if he'll sign my jewel, just to be funny. And he like refused to sign it. He was like,
That's fucked up.
he,
Like in person?
yeah. I like
Oh,
brought it
shit.
up to him, and he's like,
Oh no.
and he was just like, I don't have to do this. I don't endorse this. I'm gonna say no.
Shit.
I think that's great because like he was clearly just being funny, but also he totally fucking dissed you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Disrespect.
Like he was very rude and not nice, but in a funny way, so it's cool.
But like,
Yeah.
see,
That's what I aspire to.
have any of y'all seen American football live?
No.
Okay. Mike doesn't talk much or anything. I don't know. It's like very just like straightforward shit. But like this Owen show was like Mike Kinsella online on stage. Like he was talking shit about his kids. He was talking shit about like just like being a dad, and he was like just making jokes about like
That's so sick.
yeah. So like I thought that was cool because like every time I'd seen American football, it was just like no bullshit. But like this was like the Mike Kinsella that like we all follow and stuff.
It was like the Mountain Goats, like just like how John Darnielle just shoots the shit,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Big fan of shooting the shit.
I'm also a big fan of shooting shit. huge Second Amendment proponent over here.
Gotta
Um,
go out
do we
back
have?
and shoot
do-
the shit.
I'll shoot the shit. I'll shoot that shit, Bobby. Did we want to like talk about any of the things that people said to us on Twitter just now when I like made that post?
Yeah, these all kind of
Are
pretty-
stupid.
Yeah,
These are all stupid, and I resent our listeners.
they used to they used to bring some like really thought provoking shit, and now we've just apparently let this shit in. Who let this shit in?
It's honestly my fault because like I opened the floodgates with the roast, and now everyone just
guess.
thinks they can shit post
Yeah,
constantly, and we'll acknowledge them.
I got like one shit post, and I got one decent thing on Instagram.
What was the decent thing? I vote that we don't even acknowledge the shit posts because they made me mad.
Bands from the emo revival, you can see having reunions and touring in 15 to 20 years the way Mineral and American Football have.
Guacamole.
Can you see Guacamole reuniting? I don't know if I can.
I don't know.
That's been
I
only 5 years since they did their final shows.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I
But
mean,
like Glockamora is definitely like kind of like a decent test run for this because like they've only gotten way fucking popular since they've broken up.
yeah.
Yeah. Glockamora's songwriting is so like distressingly personal that I would not be shocked if they didn't want to revisit it.
Yeah,
You know?
that's a good point.
But isn't
Like-
American Football and Mineral kind of personal?
I mean, yeah, but in a more like elliptical way, a way that like you could like distance yourself from. There's nothing
Yeah.
like I can't see myself writing something like Anniversary Song and then like being able to sing it like 10, 15 years down the line.
Yeah.
Like that would fuck me up.
What other bands?
I was about to say I like this is just like my own personal like want because I have no idea if it could ever be a possibility, but High Tide Hotel for sure.
That band's so sick.
But that like really requires a lot of people to get into them. Like
That's true.
I think like that's like the kicker for I mean that's like the requirement for this question is like the band's got to really fucking take off in a big bad way, like an American Football level or a Mineral level is more appropriate because that's more attainable.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But like
Um,
modern baseball is definitely gonna be that.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna like include bands that were like active more recently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right. Because I was definitely throwing back to like the very beginning of the emo revival, and honestly, I see like almost zero of those bands reuniting. Probably if the hotelier breaks up, I definitely could see them doing like a 10, 15 year anniversary show for something. You know.
Also, a band with like deeply personal songwriting, though.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. I don't know. Maybe I just have a double standard for Glockamora.
I mean Algernon Cadwallader.
Maybe Tank wants it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was about to say a canceled band, so I will not do that.
Do you want me to bleep it?
Sure.
Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah, probably.
And like on that note, also, like I definitely think is gonna reunite, and people will like forget all about everything that happened and be totally okay with it.
Undoubtedly.
Would a Jack Senef project?
If
Jack's
one,
not canceled, just Nick.
Right, but like, do you think like
like, if one were to ever like reunite, it'd probably be like William Bonney.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe Nola though.
I hope that Anola gets like more life.
And I could see Nola more than like Sail North. This is honestly like a tough question because these are more bands that like I feel very personally attached to because I've been there for the come up. I don't think Touche Amore will ever break up. I think that band is
Yeah,
going
straight
to
up. Like,
keep
that-
touring 10 months out of the year for years.
Can I-
what a fucking hard-working band.
Do you remember what was it? Hesitation Wounds? Did you like that?
I fucking love Hesitation Wounds.
I did not. That shit did not do it for me.
I liked it when it first came out, but since then I just haven't given it much attention. But like last year, Hesitation Wounds played a gig with like Glassjaw and
Oh, yeah.
JPEG Mafia, which is
Yeah, I
fucking
remember seeing that.
insane.
Did you go?
No, I wish I did, because like Glassjaw was a particularly important band for me in like fucking 7th, 8th grade. So
Yeah, for sure.
but and of course Peggy is just Peggy.
Let's swing into the screamo realm. I think Sweet Laloon is going to come back, for sure.
Probably.
Cersei have been like kind of teasing something. I think they could come back maybe like once every 5 years or some
They
shit like that.
just played their like last show though.
I mean, that's true, but I don't know. They never seem to like feel dead to me. And they also, I think I talked about this in the one episode we talked about Cersei, but they had that one post that's like, if Bam Margera will let us play at his house, we'll get back together.
Oh, that'd be so sick.
That'd be so fucking sick. Circle Takes the Square are still together, but they don't do shit.
Yeah, there's a lot of bands like that. Like Ampere, still together, but haven't done shit since like 2013.
Yeah. Metallica.
I'm seeing Page 99 tomorrow.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, it's gonna be so fucking wild.
I'm like unreal jealous. You have no idea.
I like this will be like my second like screamo reunion show. The first being like City of Caterpillar back in 2017. I just really love screamo.
Yeah. Fuck screamo, dude.
Fuck screamo though.
The other Instagram question was from Stars Hollow, and they said, "If you don't talk about the Billie Eilish record, I'm fucking done." I've never heard Billie Eilish's music, but she's definitely an industry plant.
Undoubtedly.
No, like it's like too perfectly crafted.
Yeah.
Well,
like,
because
all
she has
kids
parents
that
in the
aren't
industry. Yeah.
I have no complaints about Billie Eilish. I actually haven't heard the record, but the like singles and various tracks that I've heard like in passing, or like of my own accord, have just been like, it's just cool, but I mean, it's not really for me.
Yeah, I know almost nothing about Billie Eilish, but I do want to reiterate to anyone who might not be aware that she's fucking 17, so stop being a creepy pedophile.
Oh, is that a thing?
Yeah, 100%. Like, do you remember when Chloe Grace Moretz was like really big? There was like this website that had like a countdown until she was legal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's unfortunately not
it's
surprising
whack.
at all.
Yeah, and people are kind of like having that same vibe about Billie Eilish.
Oh dear.
Billie Eilish. I don't know, but yeah, I've never listened to her music. I kind of gather she appeals to the same people who really like Blade. That's what I've gathered.
She's like way more like normie than Blade.
Okay, all right, that's true.
Blade
okay,
kind
Juice
of
WRLD?
lies in like some vein of obscurity.
Would you
Yeah,
say Juice WRLD then? Yeah.
a Juice WRLD probably.
Okay.
I mean, isn't she just like Halsey though?
Yeah, people
Yeah.
have compared her like sonically to like Lord. I don't know.
I did see a think piece that was like, the new Billie Eilish harkens back to the days of Avril Lavigne and Hayley Williams. That she's like the new quote unquote emo woman, you know?
Evil with like 700 quotation marks.
Exactly. And I mean, like, fuck a Billie Eilish. Listen to Shannon Taylor's music.
True.
I don't know. I feel like, well, because Hayley Williams and Avril Lavigne had the same fucking shit too. They were both also teenagers when they took off. It's very weird to me that like it's seemingly as a emo pop artist who is a woman, your music can only take off if you are under 18 and old men want to fuck you. That's disturbing.
But it's just like perfectly marketed to like the alternative, like high schoolers.
Yeah.
But like it's not exclusively appealing to them because everyone pays attention to that shit.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
fucking you laugh at me because I'm different. I laugh at you because you're all the same set. Yeah.
My music scares people.
Billie Eilish shit just like strikes me as like high school music. So like,
No,
yeah.
big time. Yeah.
Let's go.
We just called Tyler a high schooler, is what we did.
Yeah. Sorry, not sorry.
Let's like pay like 30 seconds of attention to each of these Twitter questions then. How about that?
All right.
Yep,
Alright.
that sounds fantastic idea.
Can Ellie just roast Chillwave for an hour and a half?
No.
Okay.
Cool.
Finding Emo asks, can we get a comprehensive ranked list of every Deep Elm release? I mean, first of all, that's like 1,000 records deep, and they all kind of sound the same.
I don't think I've ever heard Deep Elm.
Well, wasn't Ladderman also on Deep Elm?
No, that was No Idea.
No, Ladderman was definitely had like a release on Deep Elm.
What?
It's a label. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Are you for real?
I'm not fucking kidding around.
What did they put out on Deep Elm?
Hang on.
They
I'm
like
gonna look it up. Yeah, no matter where we go.
that was on Deep Elm.
Yep.
I thought they. What the? How were they not? No Idea.
I know they sound extremely No Idea.
Wait, hold on. All right, I've clicked on the Ladderman Discogs. No Idea did all of their vinyl, the CD, and I'm assuming the rest of the shit, like marketing and stuff, was probably Deep Elm.
I'm on the Wikipedia.
Yeah.
In 2005, the band struck a deal with Deep Elm and released the landmark and highly influential No Matter Where We Go, as well as a re-release of the out of print Turn Up the Punk Will Be Singing, and it links to a Punk News article.
Yeah, and on Discogs, it's like everything vinyl wise is handled on No Idea, but like Deep Elm put the CD out, and I'm assuming did all the press and shit.
Yeah. So anyway, Ladderman and Cross My Heart. That's it. Maybe Benton Falls.
They did Appleseed Cast Records.
Oh, okay. What? Also Branston, right?
Yeah, that's on their Wikipedia page.
And none of the Emo Diaries, because they are all like kind of bad. I don't know if you've ever tried to sit through an Emo Diaries compilation, but they are kind of
I mean, back in the day, because Tom Mullen swore by them. Planes Mistaken for Stars, good band, right? Good band, right?
Is that Deep Elm?
It's probably some of it, because
I really like Planes Mistaken for Stars.
Yeah,
Good band.
good band.
Good band. Before they went sludge metal, their new stuff is sludge metal, and they used to be like emo core.
I thought it was
I've heard
cool that
the
they
new
came
stuff.
back and did something on Death Wish. I thought that was a good look for them.
Mhm.
Yeah, but the new stuff on Death Wish is like more sludge metal, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Top 10 metalcore breakdowns per Robert.
I have like a top 5. 18 Visions, Tower of Snakes.
I'm really not the one to ask.
Me either.
Absentee Debate by Unbroken. Before Dishonor by Hatebreed.
That's a good one.
That one Norma Jean breakdown that's like bringing a knife to a gunfight. You know what I'm talking about? That breakdown's sick. And the last breakdown in The Saddest Day by Converge.
What about
Oh, true.
Dillinger Escape Plan? They don't really have breakdowns, do they? Do they have breakdowns?
I mean, I guess if you like consider the opening riff of 43% Burnt a breakdown.
Is that? Yep.
That riff goes fucking hard. I went on a binge of watching a bunch of Dillinger Escape Plan live videos.
The
And
Virgin
that shit's
Megastore.
nuts.
That's like the video.
Well, yeah, that's the legendary one where he head walks. But there's also another one. They played a show in like Kansas City, and the venue was like, "Hey, either you don't play, or you play and we don't pay you because we don't have money." And Dillinger Escape Plan was like, "All right, fuck you," and then like destroyed the place. Like during their performance,
So
just tore it to shreds.
So Dillinger Escape Plan played the last show at this venue, and like the band started, and he throws a microphone at like a light hanging above the crowd and shatters
Yeah.
it. Yeah,
And you got like Ben Weinman hanging by his legs from rafters and shit.
Yeah.
Like that band was just unreal.
yeah.
And they played everything perfectly. Like you look at a band like the Chariot, and they are not playing anything correctly.
It
But,
sounds like when you fuck up a note on Guitar Hero, that's what Chariot sounds like live.
But Dillinger Escape Plan is like actively using their teeth to throw like pieces of scaffolding from the ceiling at like fiberglass, showering all over the audience and playing perfectly.
Yeah.
That band's insane.
Yeah.
Rip.
R.I.P. Yeah.
Yeah. Which Connor? Okay, here's a good question. Which Connor Ober projects / albums are emo, and which are just him crying into a microphone?
Commander Venus is emo.
Dust of Parasitos is emo.
Dessa is definitely emo. Bright Eyes is like not, and Better Oblivion Community Center is adult contemporary.
Really?
Like John Mayer.
Yeah. Jack Johnson. Yeah, for sure.
For some reason, like people. I mean, I am a huge Connor fan. I actually think like the Connor Ober solo records are actually really cool. The one that he's probably talking about, or just him crying into a microphone, is the one that he just recently did with just him and a piano, and he's just like talking about like death because he almost died from some disease, and it's just like a really interesting to do at this point in his career.
Yeah,
but like
it's interesting to almost die at this point in his career.
Yeah. But like I just could not give a fuck about this a Better Oblivion thing, because like
I did see them live.
Did you like buy the tickets, or were you going with someone?
I went with.
That's how I figured Ellie ends up at one of those shows.
Yeah, exactly. I went with Dina and 2 of her friends. And so Dina bought 3 out of the 4 tickets, and she kind of just ended up spending $90 to hear 3 Bright Eyes songs.
That's crazy.
They were cool though. They did like a really good Replacements cover, and they had him and Phoebe Bridgers just had really good like on-stage chemistry. Like they had good stage presence together. So it was like a pleasant show, you know.
Mm-hmm. The thing about that, and like this is like hardly like an insult, but it's just like if someone was like Phoebe and Connor are making music together, it sounds exactly what I thought it would be, which is just like sleepy, mid-tempo, I don't know, like sad person music.
Yeah, audio ambient. Yeah.
It's just like exactly what I thought it would be, and that was just like disappointing. I don't know. It's definitely like hitting. It's definitely scratching some itch that apparently like the whole entire fucking Pitchfork audience needed.
Not just that, they've been selling out every single fucking venue.
I know.
Like they moved from a smaller venue to a huge venue in Austin because they sold out that fast, and then that venue sold out.
Yeah. I mean, that's what
They're
Phoebe did
big
here
hype.
in Madison alone. The topic of where is Title Fight? I mean, April's almost done. That's what we were told is April. Okay,
I don't know.
Did you see that our emo post where it was like, I finally met the man, and people were like, who is that? And then people were like, oh, that's Ben Russin apparently.
Wow.
Ned Russin, you mean, or Ben?
I don't know.
Ben's the drummer.
Yeah, Ned's the
Okay.
singer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It was Ben, it was Ned. But like people were just like, who is that?
Wow. People have like forgotten.
You know, they were talking about Sound and Fury 2009 on Axe to Grind.
2019.
2009.
Okay.
The 2009 Sound and Fury, and that made me realize I'm pretty sure that was like my first like real show, the Sound and Fury 2009. So that's cool. Title Fight and Touche and Nails and Ceremony and Bad Seed all played. So that's sick. Hip in retrospect now. But really, I was just like a dipshit, like 12-year-old. I like had to pay my parents back. Yeah, I had to pay my parents back for that show, like out of like birthday money.
One other point for this: posting a picture of you and a band member to our email is like the dumbest thing.
Yeah, I agree. Almost as dumb as the time someone posted a picture of themselves with fucking Beto O'Rourke.
Why?
It was
Fugazi
posted on
politician.
our email. Yeah.
Why though?
Yeah, because he used to be in a band with the dude from At the Drive-In.
Yeah.
Cedric. Yeah.
That was the hook to post it to our email.
Yeah. I don't know. Beto is fucking awful. He's a fucking oil politician. He's bullshit. He's just literally just Ted Cruz with like a more pleasant
He likes
sheen.
Fugazi.
Yeah. That's it.
Didn't he
Beta-
pronounce Fugazi funny or something?
Fugazi or something. I don't know.
Okay.
I could give a fuck. I wish people would force the Democratic Party to move further left. But whatever. This isn't Chapo Trap House, so I'll shut up.
Okay. Thoughts on the I Love Your Lifestyle album / international emo in general? That album is fucking great. It's one of my favorite emo things behind like that Forest album so far this year.
Forests are also international emo.
Yeah.
And Chinese football. There's a lot of great international emo and a lot of great international screamo for sure.
Yeah, Screamo is
Yes.
but like I don't
People
know.
say like, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say like there's like, I mean, the UK emo scene seems to be like very strong, but does not make it. to
I mean,
here, really.
there's I Love Your Lifestyle and I Told You I Would Eat You.
Yeah, and I Feel Fine.
Yeah. That's kind of like it for bands that have like kind of broken over here though, right?
Camp Cope straight up are. I mean, we
They're-
like went over.
They're Australian.
Yeah, but they're also not emo. I think people might have stick
no.
out at some point. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if this person asks a question, Kenneth Martin, hit us up with the bands because I'm sick of the bands from here. Did y'all listen to that album though?
Yeah,
I
it was
did not.
It was good.
Yeah, I really liked it. Best jazz funk album and why is it on the corner?
I mean,
Let me Google what on the corner is real quick.
I don't know what it is either.
It's Miles Davis.
yeah, it's Miles Davis. I mean, that's not even the best Miles Davis record. The best Miles Davis record is Bitches Brew.
But is that a jazz funk album?
No, that's jazz fusion.
Yeah.
I don't know, because jazz funk isn't really my thing.
Right.
So sure, I'll give it to On the Corner. You know, Miles Davis is someone you really can't go wrong with in the realm of jazz.
I really like
Yeah.
Matt Coleman.
Ornette Coleman is good. John Coltrane is good. Jack DeJohnette is really good. I don't really want to get in the jazz bag though.
Me neither.
Yeah.
And then the last one is Talk About Jesus and Shit or something. I don't know.
Under Oath, Norma Jean, and The Devil Wears Prada, The Father, Son, and Holy Ghost.
Hmm.
Okay.
God take me because I hate me.
We are 53 minutes in, so let's get into what have you been listening to this week?
Oh, do we gotta? I don't know. I feel like this is skippable.
Okay, well, let me talk about what I've been listening to this week.
All right.
I
I can
really
do that too.
I really, really like that Club Night record that came out on Tiny Engines. It's not an emo thing by any means, but it totally sounds like blog rock. It kind of reminds me of that band, the Meishai, or the Meishi. I've heard people pronouncing it in the dorm room 9 years ago, both ways. But yeah, it definitely sounds like something that did not come out in 2019, and I love it. I don't think it's really crossed over to emo realm that much, even though it's Tiny Engines. But it's super good. I've been listening to Fury for the first time. All right.
Wow,
All
you've
right?
been sleeping.
I've apparently
What the fuck?
apparently I've been listening. Okay, yeah, so like the past 3 weeks or so, I've been listening to Fury, and I like it a lot. I'm like really looking forward to this record, but the singles aren't like making me like want to pre-order it or anything. I don't know.
Here's the thing. I really like Paramount.
Oh yeah, that's a great one.
That's like definitely like a in the realm of new classic for me within hardcore. But the new stuff they're putting out kind of sounds like fucking a little bit like Record Collector Core, you know? Like it sounds a little bit like they're kind of aping Gag and Bib and that stuff just a little bit, and that is just
So, like,
not
Chain
my
Punk?
jam. Like I feel like Chain Punk and Egg Punk are like new terms for what used to be called mysterious guy hardcore.
Yeah.
But I mean, like the only good mysterious guy hardcore band ever was Hoax. So if you're not Hoax, then you shouldn't bother. I really liked the kind of youth crew revival thing that they were doing on Paramount. So maybe if they have some songs like that in that vein on the new record, I'll be into it. But I agree, the new singles I haven't been feeling.
Yeah, me neither.
What was the Mysterious Guy hardcore record that came out last year on Youth Attack that everyone was talking about? All the art looked like a horror movie or something.
City Hunter?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd call that Mysterious Guy hardcore. It was kind of just like power violence with a pitch shifter on the vocals.
Yeah. I
I
didn't
don't
like
know.
it.
That was bad. Yeah, it was bad. Dan Ozzie can suck a fat one for recommending that.
I mean, but like, I wouldn't call it bad because I know it's definitely like hitting with that very specific person that likes that shit.
But honestly, like people who are fans of Mysterious Guy hardcore are fucking like weirdos.
I know.
They do coke off Japanese vinyl and like jerk off to Hostel. Like we don't need them.
Oh fuck.
I had that I Love Your Lifestyle record written down here. And I've listened to a lot of Coke Bust. I really like Coke Bust.
That band's so fucking tight.
It's just like that perfect like 7-minute EP type of shit.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
They and I know that people give Coke Bus shit for like being, I don't know, just for being semi-popular and having Chris Moore, who was in that band that did that shit with Scion, Magruder Grind. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, Magruder Grind is sick.
Honestly, like
that
the
band's
shit
good.
is so hot, but they did that one thing and fuck them for the rest of their lives.
People get goofy with that stuff.
What have y'all been listening?
I
listened-
got shit.
Fuck.
I changed my mind. I want to talk about some shit.
Cool.
Um,
Go ahead.
Hatebreed, Satisfaction is the Death of Desire. I unfortunately like came to the realization that Ride the Lightning and Master of Puppets are like not actually bad albums. Like
Really, man? Metallica's sick.
I mean, I don't know if I'd go as far as to say sick, but like those albums do not sound as dated as the other 80s thrash records.
Mhm.
Like they've held up better than like Anthrax and Slayer and whatnot.
Yeah.
The first 4 Year Strong album, the first 2 albums by The Used are actually like low key fucking fire. Burt McCracken's vocals are just kind of ridiculous, and I'm really down with them. Bad Seed, Rage Against the Machine, and Downset, because I have to listen to those 2 together. The album Better Judged by 12 Than Carried by 6 by The Killer, which is just really good, like regret and pain-filled Chicago hardcore. Harm's Way used to cover the song Pills live with the vocalist of The Killer, Luke. Graf Warlock, Ultra Dolphins, the new Nail song, which is fucking hard.
Is that good?
It's good. My friend Tristan tweeted something like Nails only release songs with like things that could be on Forever 21 shirts now,
Yeah.
but because the new song is called I Don't Want to Know You, but it's actually
so
like dope.
fucking cringe.
Yeah, but it's like kind of hard, and they have the B-side on that has like Max from Sepultura on it. Did y'all ever listen to Frank from My Chemical Romance, his hardcore band Leathermouth?
I did.
They're dope.
Mhm.
Not like regularly, but I like listened to the record like
They
a dozen times in early high school.
Yeah, they kind of sound like American Nightmare, I think. Some hip hop, Iron Man by Ghostface Killah, Injury Reserve, who are fucking sick. Injury Reserve is ridiculous. This band Out of Body that I saw play with Nap and Staub and
I saw them too.
yeah, and Safe and Sound. Out of Body are very, very good. They're like
Yeah, they're cool.
they're hardcore mixed with like kind of like the groovy funk riffs, but also like some shoegaze influence, like or like space rock, like Hum.
Yeah.
And the Smiths. Been listening to the Smiths because I'm a big old gay.
Sketch.
Sketch. Smiths are Sketch. Yeah.
I've been listening to a lot of Mitski, specifically Be the Cowboy, Gawk by Wunderbar.
I've seen Vundamar like 3 times, and I've never like meant to see them at all. But that shit live
That's
is
sick.
like way. They're such a wild band live, but recorded it sounds like just shit that college kids listen to.
like that specific LP. It has some good grooves.
Mm-hmm.
The Comadre self-titled.
Oh yeah,
Comadre.
The
Big
new
time.
Lord Snow.
Big time.
Broadcast. They're just like a dreamy, a noisy pop band.
Word.
And Worry by Jeff Rosenstock.
A
Worry's
classic.
hard. Worry is the Abbey Road of punk.
Instant classic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was an instant classic.
I wished I was on the same level, like anywhere near that level of like musicianship.
The thing is, like, it's not that he's like that insanely good of a musician. He just knows how to write songs very fucking well, because he's been doing nothing but writing songs for like 12 years.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, like,
Longer than that, like 20 years.
but
Yeah.
like the thing that I've been saying is like that was the record that Jeff's been building up to his entire career.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like just in the sense that it's like big, it's just like perfectly like edited and just everything. It just seems like it was the most like well thought out, and like it has his that album is just his personality condensed into like the 18 songs or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, it has some just great flow overall.
Mm-hmm.
The B-side is just
It's
ridiculous.
insane.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
When I saw him, he played the entire B-side, like, in a row, just as a chunk in the middle of a show. It was pretty dope.
I was just gonna squeeze in here that the day that I saw him on like the Worry tour or whatever was like the day after Trump got elected, and it was like a very special show.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah.
Damn word.
I'm so glad Trump got elected so you could have that.
Oh. the one redeeming factor. Been listening to a lot of No Name. Like she's
Yeah.
Yeah.
she's like probably my favorite rapper right now. She's just really good and like just really creative.
Yeah.
Plus her like her instrumentals from like a production side are just really crisp and full of just interesting sounds. Also, the new Chan single is like really fucking cool.
Oh yeah, they released that on 4/4, and
Yeah.
Kyle roasted them. See, I'm not the only one who roasts bands.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I'm the only one that makes dad jokes on our Twitter account.
It's fucked up.
I want to skip the first note here.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Sad Summerfest.
Yeah.
Ooh.
This is that festival that is. Let me pull this up here so I can get it all. This was announced like over a month ago, I think, at this point.
Doesn't look good.
It's not looking good.
It is.
It's not looking
really,
good. I'm
I'm
zooming
so
out.
upset. I am very sad about this. But it is a festival that's traveling to all these venues, multiple stages type of thing. It's like an all-day thing, and it's headlined by 4 bands, and then it's got 3 bands below. But State Champs, Mayday Parade, The Main, The Wonder Years, and then those 3 smaller bands would be Mom Jeans, Just Friends, and Stand Atlantic.
So aside from the Wonder Years, this entire lineup just like disgusts me on a deep primal level.
I like this is basically like an emo night type of crowd.
Yeah, it's fucking emo night, but on tour.
Yeah.
Let's take a minute to process
but-
this. Like,
but emo
so-
night does tour. FYI.
yeah, that's true. I just wanted to
wouldn't
say,
know.
I feel like
I don't go to fucking emo night.
I obsess about this shit, so
the death of Warped Tour was just like cutting off the head of a hydra.
Yeah.
So, or popping up.
Holy shit. That's a fantastic analogy.
Because we're also seeing like the fucking like Red State barbecue rock fests, like that have like the Color Morale type bands.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't know. It's just like a bummer. Like Sad Summerfest, more like Sad Summer is a bummer.
Bad
Yeah.
Summerfest.
More like Bad Summerfest.
Bad Bummerfest.
Right, so
Yeah.
so there's levels to why I'm really upset by this. I mean, just like sad summer, just like calling it that is just bullshit.
So lame, so stupid.
It's lame, it's stupid. I mean, it's pretty insensitive. Like, I don't know, you're marketing sadness, and that's always
Yeah.
bad.
Commodifying like shit like that is just
It's
it
gross.
always leaves a bad taste in my mouth. But that's like just art. So like,
I mean, to me, the worst thing about this is that it reminded me the main exist.
you reminded me that state champs existed.
Yeah, and Mayday Parade are one of those bands that I think are like definitely in the running for the worst band ever. Like, they're not quite Neutral Milk Hotel level, but they're down there.
But like one other thing here that like really extra sucks is that except for two people, this lineup is entirely male and
Yeah.
and
I was
white.
thinking that too. Yeah,
Like
Yeah.
and
it's just like all like white male people.
yeah, and
But I think that's why they called it Sad Summerfest, because
it's so
when
sad.
You'll just
When
leave the show really
No,
disappointed.
my thought has depth to it, all right?
Okay.
Because
Word.
when you're a white male and relatively comfortable enough to be able to afford to go to a fest like this,
You just say.
yeah, that's like the only way you can make your life interesting is by being sad.
Yeah, quotation mark sad.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not just ragging on the band that we always do, which is Mom Jeans, but like I'm just like surprised because they've always been intentional about having those lineups be diverse. They obviously put some thought into signing on to a festival like this and pissing their summer away because they're going to be doing this the entire summer. I guess I'm not like questioning it. I'm just like wondering what made them say yes to this.
Money, right?
Get
Do you-
to
do
play
you
with
think
state
that they-
champs
Do you think
Get
they're
to
like
play with
chas-
state champs.
every night.
I mean, this is a fucking move. This is a huge move. They're gonna be playing in front of huge crowds every night because there's a lot of people that like these bands.
Exactly.
I like the band in the
Mhm.
sense of like I think they have musicianship and like adequate songwriting,
Yeah.
but they're for sure like definitely easy to hate. But I don't hate them.
To me, it just definitely like solidifies my already conceived notion of them being like the epitome of fake woke.
Yeah.
I'm
Very
saying that there's
performative.
definitely something, but they're a band that puts a thought into every move. That's the thing, though.
Covered, like we kind of covered what their angle is already. You know, they are. This is the equivalent of being on Warped Tour.
Yes, and that's something that they would have easily been on.
Yeah, 100%. So,
Yeah.
Totally.
I just wish the lineup was better for them.
I mean, the Wonder Years are good. I
Yeah.
mean, I did
The
not
Wonder
like their last
Years.
record at all. The Wonder Years are a very good band.
Yeah, their last record was like adult contemporary.
Yeah, it was Foo Fighters. It was a Foo Fighters record.
Totally Foo Fighters, but like the Wonder Years are like one of those bands for me that have shaped how I listen to music.
They're
was, like-
they're amazing live.
When I like had that like everybody reaches that age where they have that musical awakening where they're actually like conscious of the shit that they're listening to. The Wonder Years was among the first bands that like really propelled my love of just how you say alt music.
All right. Next up in not news, the 1975 said there's references to Joan of Arc, Braid, and a mineral on their new music. For some reason, I trust this. I don't know why. I just always think like the 1975 are like in the shit, you know?
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah.
For some reason, I trust this.
I have no doubt that they're actually like, I don't know, well listened.
Yeah.
Well versed, yeah. I mean, because their last record was like a Jordan Peterson audiobook, basically. Like it was very weird, and the lyrics were very off-putting. So like on a musical level, I'm not very down with this band, but I do think it is cool that they are shouting Joan of Arc, Braden, Mineral out in their interviews.
Yeah.
That is
Why
cool.
isn't it? Yeah, but also why not like page 99? Orchid City of Caterpillar. That's what I'm saying.
The 1975 say that there's references to Sweet Loon, Kid Farrell, and
Kid Crash.
Kid Crash on their new record. Hell yeah. I want to hear some jazzy post-screamo on the 1975.
Maybe they don't actually like regularly listen to them. I actually like gave them like a fair shot like last week. I like started listening to them with the intent to pick out things that I'd like about them, and I walked away essentially with the opinion that they're good, but they're not something that I would find myself listening to, and if anything, it's just slightly not outstanding.
Same. Whenever I listen to that band, I always come away with a feeling that like probably something like if when a colorblind person looks at a pastel, you know, like there's just something I'm not getting out of this.
Yeah.
That's all I really have to say about that.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts?
No, it's just news, but not news.
Yeah.
Not really, yeah.
So on April Fool's Day, we got a couple of gags. One that was maybe way too good, and calling it a gag isn't fair, is the Pool Kids released a couple of hardcore songs under the name Pool, and they're very good.
All caps.
And they are the hardest hardcore songs of the year, like period.
They are really, really fucking good. Like, I had never listened to Pool Kids much before. Like, I had given the LP a couple listens before because they're on, like, Skeletal Lightning, which is, like, one of my favorite labels right now.
Mm-hmm.
And, like hearing that, I was like, wow, like, they just need to, like, start another project that, like, has this sound.
So, two things. One, this actually made me like their Pool Kid stuff more.
Yeah,
Go
me
on,
too.
listen to it. And two, this is just so everyone's clear, this is a Code Orange parody, right? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, because they're like no more kids. On like
Oh, fuck!
on like the cover of the record.
I just got it.
Yeah. I don't know. This is sick. I hope they pull like reverse adventures and abandon Pool Kids to do pool full time. Yeah.
So also on April Fool's Day, Haley Williams on her Instagram said that,
Yeah, that was
this
big.
is what Paramore wish we sounded like in the early 2000s. Love hearing mathy twinkly parts mixed with heavy moments. Blah blah blah. Here's Pool Kids
So cool.
reply from the Pool thing one day later. One, we said we were done with twinkly emo bullshit yesterday as an April Fool's joke, and then released 2 hardcore songs under the name Pool. 2, don't be fooled, we are still a bullshit emo band that plans to continue releasing emo bullshit. It's not out of our system yet, and maybe never will be. 3, due to the overwhelmingly positive reception of Pool, we obviously have no choice but to fuck around with this a little, maybe a lot. It was fun, we loved it, and are now looking forward to doing more with it, but we are still Pool Kids, and we're still making tappy bullshit. 4, to our new followers that came here from Haley Williams shouting out our Not Hardcore album yesterday, I'm sorry you came at such a confusing time. Please listen to our album that sounds like Paramore and ignore the hardcore joke we released yesterday. 5, and finally, yes, it was a Code Orange reference. We fucking love Code Orange.
Sick.
That's
That's
so cool.
such a joy to
Cool
read.
kids.
I love that. Shout out Haley Williams.
Big
She's always come off.
Williams.
She's always come off as like a really cool person to me.
Mhm.
I'm sure she also fucks with, you know, the hardcore stuff that they just did because she reps like Madball shirts live and whatnot.
Madball.
Madball. I heard myself echo on his computer.
New York hardcore. Hell yeah.
Rick to life. Who the fuck are you?
Rick to life is
It's so sad.
Yeah. I don't want to talk about Rick to life because it's gonna bum me the fuck out.
Do you want to get into the next thing then?
Yeah.
Should we? Because this is like two canceled things on top of each other.
Yes.
Yeah.
But let's at least address that. It happened. Okay. All right.
So Little B is a pedophile,
Well, okay.
and Nick Stutzman is a piece of shit.
Did you know that Lil B was a pedophile?
I did.
But does
I'm not the one who
anyone know
posted
that?
this.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, it's
yeah.
like a big thing.
I am,
hip hop
like, taking-
heads, like took him down.
Who did?
Hip hop heads. This was like a huge thread.
The subreddit hip hop heads.
Yes.
Okay. I did
There
not
were-
know
there
this.
This was a thread like maybe a month or two ago. They were like, "Can we talk about Little B?" And just like so much shit about him sliding into underage people's DMs and asking them to model for him and shit. Just very weird.
I felt like personally hurt when I heard about that because I'm like, wow, like I felt the same pain when I learned that like Viper was a total like horrible person.
Yeah, same. Like,
Because like, it just like the humor value of like whether it be like their music or their like internet presence, like that just had me rolling. And like now I'm like, oh fuck,
now I feel gross. laughing at it.
horrible people. Yeah, I feel gross.
Yeah. But I mean, like, to some extent, if you like are familiar with Viper's output and Little B's output, it makes total sense that it's really like fucked up people behind it,
Mhm.
Yeah.
because they definitely just come off as like low key like scam artists.
Yeah.
Okay, so Lil B sampled Midwest Pen Pals, or Lil B's producer, who apparently is in Goth Boy Click for this song. Or, the person that produced this track is someone that has to do with the Goth Boy Click. And
Who is it? Who's the producer?
Fish Narc.
Oh my God, Fishnark?
Yeah.
Yo,
Lore.
Fishnark should know better.
This is lore.
Yeah, no, well, because Fishnark calls like whack shit out all the time. He should know better.
Yeah.
I don't know. Bummed out.
I guess all this proves that a lot of people are oblivious to some things, and I guess does this also say that like if you're like quote unquote canceled or called out on something as niche as hip hop heads, does that mean that you're really canceled everywhere else?
No, not really.
And
I mean, I
just,
still
like,
remember the
unfortunate.
interview Thrasher did with Little B.
What's that all about?
That was back in 2009. He just like did a feature on him because he released a mixtape called "I'm Gay."
Yep.
Uh,
Yep. I don't know, Ellie. I'm sorry I tweeted this.
it's okay. You got called out immediately by like Aaron.
Yeah. But like, it is noteworthy that like something as obscure as Midwest Pen Pals is being wrapped over by someone as fucking strange and apparently creepy as Lil B. That's noteworthy, right?
that is definitely noteworthy. It's worth talking about.
Yeah.
And I think that it shows that like emo rap is like definitely leaking into other parts of the internet rap sphere.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
So
P Daddy.
Prince Daddy are releasing corners and pieces of their album cover, tweeting lyrics and using the hashtag CTS forever with a brain emoji and a rocket emoji.
Ooh.
So this album will be like the album art will be fully seen and pieced together on 420. Is this album coming out on 420?
That makes so much sense.
Is this album getting announced on 420? Is this album coming out on 420? They're playing a 420 house show in upstate New York. I don't know.
I feel like that house show is going to be them playing the whole album in its entirety. That's my
Probably.
prediction.
Did you see the thing where they apparently played the full album as house music at a Mom Jeans show? And like
I did
that's-
see that.
That's fucking sweet. That's hilarious.
I'm stoked. The songs I've heard are very good.
What the fuck
'cause
do you
when I-
mean? You've heard songs.
Yeah, they played 3 new songs live when I saw them.
Oh, okay. I thought you mean you've like heard them. Like,
I haven't.
Oh no, I do not have enough clout to be like,
No leaks.
yo, Corey, send me those tracks. I am Facebook friends with Corey now though. That's cool.
No leaks.
No leaks.
I haven't like listened to Prince P Daddy in like years.
Oh,
it's
dude,
been
they're
such
so
a
good.
long time. It's been such a long time between albums.
It's been like 3 years, right?
Yeah.
Like I really liked the LP that they put out on Broken World
Mm-hmm.
ages ago.
That's their most recent material.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Well, no, they did the three-way split.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I
that's
forget
right.
about that.
Yeah.
I forget about that sometimes because
Yeah.
the Mom Jeans participated.
Yeah, but the Mom Jeans songs are like, with like no shade or anything. It's just like, I feel like everyone came to that thing with like their best songs, and those are some of the best P Daddy songs, and that has the best Pictures of Vernon song.
Yeah. I don't know. No, my favorite Pictures of Vernon song is Public School.
Oh, my favorite one is Camp Games Part or 2.0. That song is
Yeah.
like,
And yeah, the Thrashville songs are good.
yeah.
Yeah, you're right. The Thrashville songs are very good.
I guess another thing about Prince Daddy though is like, is this gonna be a case of an album that is way too hyped? Like, I honestly expect this to be like pup level big when it comes out. Just seeing the amount of stuff about this album, from like label to PR people to everyone just gassing this shit up like it's going to be
Yeah.
LP1.
Yeah.
Prince Daddy's pretty much like almost single-handedly bridged this like gap between like newer pop punk kids and like broken world media core emo music.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I 100%.
Same thing with mom jeans too. Like I think that
Except, I think Mom Jeans fosters less crossover. Prince Daddy is more of like it's more of a head thing, you know? Like
Okay.
yeah,
Straight up, I
when
think
they did that. Sorry.
I was gonna say straight up, I don't think anyone can say anything bad about Prince Daddy. Like,
yeah.
I was hanging out with a band after a show, and there was a member that was like literally talking shit about every single band possible. But then someone was like, Prince Daddy. He goes, "Oh, that band's fucking sick." It was like, like he had trashed every popular contemporary emo band, but like when someone said Prince Daddy, he lit the fuck up, and that just like proves and says so much about Prince Daddy.
Kyle, you just subtweeted me. Like verbally.
No, this was someone in the band.
Oh, okay. Oh, where I can totally like I like, but I can totally see the people in that band like being massive shit talkers. Listen, I'm gonna call it that we have 10 minutes left.
Okay.
So let's blow through this new album list that we got.
Yeah,
Word. I've listened to one of them.
I've listened to some of them. So a bunch of new albums came out. The new Law Dispute, I cannot say I've listened to the full thing, but people are very...
It's good.
Yeah, people are really into it. And it's cool that it kind of is worthy of like the huge break that we got between Law Dispute albums, it sounds like.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I like know several people that are like really into it, but I like it a lot. But it's like I still got to spend like more time with it for like me to like it more.
This continues Law Dispute's streak of only making one album that I like.
Which is
Wildlife.
Vancouver? Oh, a Wildlife, okay.
Really?
Wildlife. Yeah. Yeah.
This is another
That's the
tiny
only one
moving
that I
parts
fuck with.
thing for you. This is a tiny moving parts celebration thing for you.
Why is it that controversial to say Wildlife's my favorite? That's crazy.
It's just not the Cloudy album.
Well, I'm not the cloudy person, so
The clouty.
yeah. American football. This is the best thing they've done since the EP back in '98. I think
It's
this has the most good songs.
it's
I heard-
super solid.
I heard
the-
the one with Haley Williams.
The Haley Williams track is sick.
It's
Yeah,
so
it's
good.
really good.
Yeah.
There's something like they like actually made something that sounds genuinely kind of dramatic and atmospherically like like there's just something hanging above every song on the album that makes it sound like it was meant to be made, unlike LP2 that sounded like it was forced to be made.
Exactly.
LP2
This
was not good.
LP2 is trash. This album is good because not only are they confident, it also feels like an album that doesn't have anything to live up to.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's just them striking out on their own terms, and it works.
So all the people saying hot take, I think LP3 is the best thing.
Kind of, yeah.
It's not a hot take. It's extremely fucking good.
I haven't heard it in full, but
do it. It's actually
I have like more than enough things like warranting me listening to it, so I might give it a shot.
Chinese football put out an EP, and they're also opening up for American football in Hong Kong.
That's sick.
Yeah,
that is so sick.
That's like that should be the emo post of the year, because it's the most emo post of the year, first of all. But
100%.
Yeah, Chinese football EP is sick as well.
They're not a band that I like very much. Like, I don't dislike them, but I just am not a huge fan. But you know, they're making moves, and that's something I am happy for any band.
I don't feel confident saying it's their best thing or anything, because I haven't spent that much time with the EP or their other full length. They actually have a lot more music than I thought that they did. Yeah. And then I guess Pup put out an album, and I mean, can all three of us say that Pup is not an emo band with like absolute certainty?
Yeah, all caps. If I was on absolutepunk.com or .net, right? Absolutepunk.net in
Chorus.fm.
2003. Chorus.fm. I would be like bashing this out in all caps. Pup is not an emo band.
They're just like more like straightforward punk, but like taking influence from things that are not emo. So they are. They're contemporary orgcore is almost what I would call them. Does that make sense? No, it doesn't.
Oh,
but
it's
came
the equivalent of orgcore. The modern equivalent of orgcore.
But okay, but here's another way to look at this and dispute that is like orgcore is for older people, and like Pup is like
Pup's for the kids.
Pup's for the kids.
No, Pup is like one of the few new bands that has our punk clout. Because that subreddit is a cesspool filled with people who only give a shit about bands that stopped making relevant music in 1995. But Pup gets shout outs there, along with Pears and what's that fucking band that put out Joy as an Act of Resistance? The name of that band?
Is that, I don't know, is that Topic?
Idols.
Oh,
it's Idols.
I don't like Idols.
No, they're a piece of shit band.
I don't like Idols at all, and Pears will be the last good orgcore band. I love Pears.
Oh, Pears are sick.
Pears are so good.
I've never heard them.
I think if Pears are orgcore, or the contemporary equivalent of orgcore, then so's Pup. You know? I
mean, sonically it makes sense, but like, scene-wise, following-wise, I think it's kids that are going to. It's probably one of those like, I took off work from my office job at the university to go to the Pup show.
Well, yeah, it's AV Club punk. Like the same people who listened to like Chumped are now on board with Pup.
Yeah,
I love Chumped.
Oh yeah, I also love Chumped. No shade to Chumped. So something about Lemons is like in the top 20 pop punk songs ever for sure. Anyway, the new Pup album is okay. I feel like it's hard to live up to the 1-2 punch of their debut and The Dream Is Over.
Yeah,
which was
I think Dream is Over is like way better than the first one.
I wouldn't say way better.
I wouldn't say way better either, but they're both incredible records and just show the band moving from strength to strength.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But Morbid Stuff is kind of like maybe what I would have thought Pup was before I got into them, which is like punk for people who are not actually angry.
Yeah. You know? fun, geeky rock punk.
Yes, like Nerf Herder with harsh vocals.
I liked the singles off of Morbid Stuff.
Yeah.
I straight up have only heard the song, or the lead single. I think it's called "Kids." I'm just not in any rush to listen to this album.
Neither am I,
But
frankly.
like, is this an emotional album? Like, is there like a lot of emotional lyrics or anything that is worthy of this?
Kind of.
I mean,
Kind of
called emo.
No, it's not anything more emotive than, you know, like P.S. Eliot or
Jeff Rosenstock, even
Jeff Rosenstock, or what's that one, Bent Out of Shape. It's nothing more than that. And I think that it, like, in all honesty, the fact that Pup put out Sleep in the Heat ruined the entire rest of their output for the rest of their career. Like, just because nothing will live up to that song.
this is
Either on a
interesting.
musical level or an emotive level.
Hmm.
All right. I just still have the stance. I don't understand why people think Pup would be emo.
No, I also agree with that stance.
It's just the same thing as Roswell Kid. Like, there is remotely nothing emo about Roswell Kid.
But at least Roswell Kid tours with, like, emo bands.
Yeah, Roswell Kid does tour with emo bands, so I could see like where the distinction would be like flawed.
But I mean, Pup toured with Tiny Moving Parts and Jeff Rosenstock, so I guess there's the
That could be why.
that's
true.
like the connection. But still, just like sonically, like there's not even math rock parts, which is which I think is the most frequent mistake. Is like a band plays a pull off and a hammer on in succession, and then all of a sudden they're an emo band.
Give me that sad tunes played by rad dudes.
Yeah, we're a sad band. We play sad jams, and we're inspired by sad bands.
Come cry at the basement show.
Our last FM tag is sad. Yeah.
We're a six-piece, but one of us plays brass.
Don't come for Respire like that.
Fuck.
Yeah.
So let's properly wrap this up then. Alex, thanks for coming on the pod. People can find your band at. I mean, does the Mascot Year have a band camp and stuff?
Yes, we have the shit. Yeah.
You have the shit. All right.
I do.
Ellie, any parting thoughts?
Pigeon, I love you so much. Thank you for coming on.
I love you too, Ellie.
It's been like a year and a half in the making, and I'm so proud. Follow me on Twitter at You Don't Need Maps, because I'm way more active on there now.
Frankly, I'm like here for it. You got some heaters.
Yo, my tweets are great. The last one I did about the convenience store is like maybe my favorite thing I've ever said in my life. And yeah, thank you everyone for listening. Our next episode is our 30th episode. Holy shit.
3-0.
3-0.
Hell yeah.